Hello, and thank you for joining me today for this Christian message. Today's message will begin explaining the meaning of love in the Christian faith. I start this message by asking the question, what is love? An individual's understanding of love will change and develop as they grow up from a child to an adult and as they pass through life experiences. The word love might be used to describe an emotion or attachment to somewhere or something. People might say they love going on holiday somewhere, or they love a certain type of food, or they love a hobby they have. The word love might also be used when describing what is of great importance to us, like a personal belief or a relationship. Problems can arise between people when one person says they love another, and then they behave in such a way that the person receiving their behavior sees it as unloving. When this happens, there is a mismatch between the understanding of love between two people, and this can cause problems in relationships. In these situations, the person claiming to love, but who are not behaving in a loving way, may not understand the contradiction between their words and behavior. It can be hard for them to face up to the fact that their behavior does not match their words. Sometimes the word love is rarely used between people, but instead the love between them is demonstrated by their behavior and commitment to each other. When people say they love someone or something, what causes them to feel love and say the word love will depend upon so many factors, like their age and maturity, their life experiences and family upbringing, and so on. All these join together to give a person the understanding of what love is and when to use the word love. Love is a word used so widely and understood so differently. As humanity was created by God in the image of a loving God, then all people are capable of feeling and showing love. From the Bible book of Genesis, chapter 1, verses 26 to 28, we read, Then God said, Let us make man in our image, according to our likeness. Let them have dominion over the fish of the sea and the birds of the air, and over the cattle, over all the earth, and every creeping thing that creeps on the earth. So God created man in his own image. In the image of God he created him. Male and female he created them. Then God blessed them, and God said to them, Be fruitful and multiply. Fill the earth and subdue it. Have dominion over the fish of the sea and the birds of the air, and over every living thing that moves on the earth. Firstly, notice that God said, Let us make man in our image. The us is plural. This is referring to God the Father, Jesus, and Holy Spirit. The three persons of one God were together at the beginning of creation, and together they created the universe, the earth, and everything on it, including humanity. The three persons of one God are often called the Holy Trinity, and we sometimes see Holy Trinity included in church names for this reason. From a Christian perspective, we can only love because of the love of God who created us. Our ability to love is not a human invention. It comes from God because we are created in God's image. So God created man in his own image. In the image of God, he created him. male and female, he created them. For a Christian, their ability to feel and show love comes entirely from God. Clearly, before someone becomes a Christian, they are capable of love. This is the love they have from being created in the image of God, what we might call our image of God love. People will show their image of God love differently, depending upon their character and life experiences, age, maturity, and family upbringing, and so on. And this helps explain why behaviour in our society varies so dramatically. Some people are very loving, and some people are not very loving. However, whereas image of God love is limited by weaknesses in a person's character, for a Christian, their image of God love is just the beginning of their expression of love. Throughout the rest of their lives, their heart will be deepening more and more in God's love, as God works daily in their hearts and minds to transform them into the image of God that they were created to reflect. In businesses and other organizations, you sometimes hear about glass ceilings, which means that some consider there to be unseen barriers in an organization which can prevent certain people moving forward. In the same way, our image of God love is a glass ceiling for our love. We can only go so far, and then we have reached our limit. Each individual has their own glass ceiling for love. However good and loving we see a person to be, and I know people who are very nice, pleasant, and decent people, we must understand that they have a glass ceiling for their love. With God's help, they can develop their love further. Our capacity to feel and express love lives in our hearts, our inner person. And when our hearts are transformed by God, our ability to love is increased and developed. In the Bible book of Luke, chapter 6, verse 45, Jesus teaches us, "A good man out of the good treasure of his heart brings forth good, and an evil man out of the evil treasure of his heart brings forth evil. For out of the abundance of the heart, his mouth speaks." Jesus is teaching us that our character, feeling love and expressing love, dwells in our heart, our inner person. The condition of our heart will be revealed when we say anything or do anything. When we say we love others, the way we express our love to them should match our words. The condition of our heart will determine whether they do. I explained in message 2 that there are many methods, therapies, and techniques which can help our minds, but they don't always help our heart. God's power and love begins healing and improving our hearts and minds when we put our faith in Jesus. By our belief in Jesus and our belief in his death on the cross for our forgiveness, the love within our hearts can develop beyond our glass ceiling. I hope you have found this message helpful, and please do join me again for the next time when I'll be explaining more about love in the Christian faith. Goodbye.